and welcome back to another video. Today here back on Gran Turismo Sport to check out, well, I would say a new update, but most recent update, because this is actually not that new at this point. So I haven't played this game for a very long time, probably more than 6 months in fact. So I completely missed a little while ago the GR.86 being added. Like, I kind of knew it was added, but I didn't really think to come in and test it out. So let's take a look at it, because it is the only game that has the 2021 GR.86. So we should have enough money to go and buy one. Obviously GR.86 replaces the GT86, which, believe it or not, has been around since 2012. It is that old. This has a slightly bigger engine. It has a 2.4 litre 4-cylinder as opposed to the 2 litre found in the GT86, and does 0 to 60 in 6.3 seconds, 1.1 faster than the previous car. 232 horsepower, hopefully at 231 in Gran Turismo, slightly argues with the internet. Up from, it should be 197 in the 198 in the previous one. But yeah, as with a lot of Toyotas, they have this kind of partnership almost with GT Sport. You might remember the old GR Yaris only being added recently. Actually, this is a GR Yaris High Performance, which is slightly different, I think. No, that is just what it's called. Right, anyway, GR.86. I've actually seen a couple of these at Goodwood a little while ago. Interesting little things. Personally, I think the old GT86 actually looks better. Not that I've ever been a massive fan of either. Obviously, again, as with the GT86, there is a Subaru Brz, or Subaru BRZ. I rather like that blue, actually. There is a Subaru BRZ going alongside it. Oh, 8,600. Cars are cheap in this game. Well, some of them are. Some of them are several million. But yeah, should be slightly faster than a GT86. So maybe what we should do, I'll go and give it a quick test drive, and then I think what we'll do is take both of them to a circuit and see which is faster. I think they added a new GT86 at some point. They kept adding different year models of it. Anyway, let's find somewhere to test this car. Doesn't sound too bad, the engine starting up there. So obviously, small car that's all about handling. We've come to Tsukuba, which interestingly, actually, if you scroll down the list, I have set a time around here in a 86 GT as well as an 86 Grumman. I think I was doing a Toyota 86 battle style video, so we've already got all of those on the leaderboard. Kind of makes sense that this is the track I'd have used for that. So after a few laps around here, we can see where we are sitting. I will put traction off before we get going. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, Toyota sort of have this deal almost with Gran Turismo. Well, they did for a while have sort of almost exclusive access to Toyota. But it meant every new Toyota, whether it was interesting or not, got added. So we ended up with a GT86 added several times because it was a different year version. This is actually a different car, so that's something. But yeah, obviously, as with the GT86, these cars aren't about speed and lap times. They're more about having fun. Hence why the original one was put on effectively Toyota Prius tyres, so that it slid around a bit. Hang on, let's see if we can get this under power. There we go. I only hit one cone, it's fine. But yeah, for ages the Supra, for example, has only been in, or the only sort of big title it's been in is that went well. The only sort of big title it's been in is Gran Turismo Sport. Obviously we have confirmation of it being in Horizon 5 now, so maybe this will be. But I sort of feel like the GT86 almost had a sort of following, and it had wide body kits and people were doing mad things with them. I don't know whether this will be the same. I mean, I guess in time it will be. Hard to say, really. Anyway, it's a fun little thing. Let's see if we do a timed lap. How it will be. I do quite like Tsukuba, especially in sort of lower powered sports cars like this. I loved racing around here in the little MX-5 touring cars. So with the previous cars I only did sort of one lap as a run, that was my kind of rule. So I think as we come across the line this time, I will pause and go and check what time I've done. I would hope it was faster, but close to the GT86 time. Like I say, I haven't played this game for a long time, so... Oh, there we are, look, GR.86. So these two at the top don't count, because they're a rally car and a Group 4 car. Then we've got the Roadster Touring cars talking about the little MX-5. So interestingly, the Group B 86 is the only one that's sub 1 minute at the moment. Then we've got GTRs. It's not really a track for those because it's too twisty. I think I did a similar battle around there. And then here we have the GR86. So really we have to compare that to the original 86 GT rather than the performance version. So it's quite substantially faster. 3 seconds. I don't know what my lap was like in that. So, yeah. Maybe I do need to hop into the GT86 just to see how it feels straight after driving this new car, and possibly see if we can do a lap to see if that time was... Maybe I just had a bad lap back then, I can't actually remember. Anyway, let's hop into that car and see. You know what, looking at it in this loading screen, I think it's so much better looking. The old car, I mean, it's not a beautiful thing, but I don't know, there's something about it that I think just looks... It sort of looks lower and wider and better. This is actually a rental one, so I know it's stock. Yeah, I'm just going to do one lap in this, see how it feels compared to the GR86, and see what time it does. Oh god, hang on. It's put traction control on, hasn't it? I hate how it does that by default. I do not want that on. Stop interfering. God, this much power doesn't even need traction control. The whole point is you want to brake traction and slide it around a bit. It doesn't feel that different, to be honest. It feels like it has a little bit less sort of go out of the corners, but... Otherwise it feels quite similar. That could just be Gran Turismo. In real life they might be worlds apart. I mean, looking at the stats, they shouldn't be that different. slightly more powerful engine. Slightly faster to 60. Actually, a 1.1 second difference to 60 is quite a lot. So maybe that's what I'm feeling at the sort of low end acceleration. So it's a second faster than my previous 86 GT, or GT86 time. For some reason it's an 86 GT in this game and a GR.86 when it was a GT. Anyway, point is that was slightly faster, so I can probably... Can I remove a... I don't think you can, I think you can only wipe the whole leaderboard. So that's the previous time, so I shaved about a second off, so that's the... I think the 11.4 is the time we have to go with because it was done on the same day as the 9.3. So it's still 2 seconds a lap faster around Tsukuba, which is a short track, so that is quite impressive actually. But I guess that makes sense. This car came out in, yes, the one we drove was a 15, but it came out almost 10 years before this one. But yeah, it's a nice little upgrade, nice to have. Because that was one of the things about it, it was never a powerful car, so it's nice to have a little bit more. You wouldn't want to add much more, I don't think, because then it kind of changes the character of the car. The whole point is it's a low-speed, fun little thing that you can throw about and, well, enjoy at road speeds, I guess, although this was at a track, but anyway. So, here we are back in the GR.86, the new car. Yeah, it definitely has a bit more. It should be the off-the-line speed. It should be this that's a bit, up to 60 there. Not a bad little thing. You're only really going to get one of these if you can't afford a Supra, let's be honest. If you want a Supra but can't quite afford it, this is what you buy, isn't it? Now, obviously when the previous one came out, that wasn't a comparison, but it's not a bad looking little car. I do personally prefer the GT86, but yeah, it's not a bad looking thing. And if you don't want a Toyota, there's always a Subaru version, which I don't think is in here. Not of this new one. Anyway, I think that's probably all I have to say about the new GR.86. Not necessarily a car I would choose to drive in this game, but yeah. Good to see they are still adding stuff, even if it is not very often, but obviously they're working on GT7 at this point anyway. If anything else does get added to GT Sport, I'll try and hop on to drive it a bit quicker than I did with this thing. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy a video on GT Sport. I know some of you were really hoping for a GT Sport video again soon. But yeah, that is going to be all, taking a first look at the GR.86 here on Gran Turismo Sport. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back with the next video very soon.